All right, ladies and gentlemen, everyone out there watching on YouTube, first of all, welcome to the arena. Today, we came here together for a special reason, because I have the feeling that we need to record a video, and this video is going to be different than usual. You guys know most of the time we try to bring you entertaining, competitive MK1 content, but today I think it's time that we officially have to talk, because the most recent Kombat cast just happened. A lot of information dropped, but a lot of bad, aka sad news drop as well. First of all, before we dive into this video, I just want to, for everyone who just tuned in, want to explain who we actually are. Next to me here is Robocop. I mean, Robocop, if you want, you can introduce them. You can introduce yourself to them on your own. Biggest fan site on the internet, testyourmind.com.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? Good to be here with you, Rip. And yeah, just disappointed with the news, to say the least.
So the thing is, you guys know that most of the time we just try to make things work. With Mortal Kombat 1, we all know the game is in a quite difficult state. So this update, a lot of people actually said this update might make or break the game. And I think, Robo, that is somewhat right. Because now we're in a situation, compared to the original release of the game, where we have Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 out at the same time. I completely understand different core audience whatsoever, but of course it is, I think, necessary to compare all these next-gen fighting games to each other. So what we want to talk about in this video, to make the long story short here, we don't even want to talk about Peacemaker. We originally wanted to, but I have to be honest, I am so pissed that I don't even want to do it anymore. The main thing is, in today's Kombat cast, they announced that crossplay, the big feature everyone was looking forward to, in my opinion, the most important feature of the game, is not gonna be supporting King of the Hill matchmaking. And for every casual out there who potentially doesn't even understand what that means, that means that crossplay is only gonna be available in 1v1 matches and in ranked leaderboards. That means you cannot do a lobby with friends. And for tournament organizers or competitive events, that means that you cannot host crossplay events because you are not able to spectate the game. You need to be in the lobby with 3 people, 2 players, 1 spectator. Most of the time it is me recording the footage for YouTube and for the scene, but that's not going to be possible. And I have to be honest, I'm so pissed about this that I decided just to make this rant video, just for that reason. But Robo, let's talk about the game in general. We all know Mortal Kombat 1 released in a bad state. The game was rushed a little bit. We all know that. We don't even have to talk about it anymore. But the big problem is that, in my opinion, you can save the game, or NRS could save the game with the right decisions. And my question to you is, Robo, do you, as the owner of Test Your Mind, I mean, you have a lot of knowledge about the game, you know what's going on there, do you have any idea how is it even possible that so many wrong decisions are made back to back?
I mean, if I remember correctly, I think this game was going through production during the COVID crisis. So I know we saw a lot of games get canceled fully and other things. So I'm sure they had their fair share of setbacks during production. Agreed. But that doesn't excuse their handling of some of these subsequent issues, like the crossplay situation. Like that, they know, Press knows that they've got content creators that depend on crossplay. And when you say crossplay is coming, you expect crossplay to be coming, not crossplay is coming. You know, see the fine print.
Yes,
right.
That is a very, very good point to make. I mean, generally speaking, we know that, I mean, we are here for the competitive scene mainly, right? Rips Arena, for everyone who maybe finds this video for the first time and don't know what we do, we're actually the biggest community-funded Mortal Kombat 1 tournament in the entire world. We can proudly say we paid out close to $100,000 to the players at this point, Robo. We are hosting events basically on every platform available, with more than 500 active players every single day. But the problem I see is that without crossplay and with all these declining numbers, we're gonna run into big issues in a very, very short time. Because my biggest issue with NRS is the decision making in general. I have the feeling that everything they do is like only short-term benefit. And that means slap in there another DLC character, hype it for a week, so the numbers go up like with a little spike. But then all of a sudden, or 1 week after, we saw it with every single DLC release so far. It doesn't even matter which one it was. The numbers go up a little bit, and then people realize actually, yeah, it was fun, but the foundation of the game is just in a very, very bad state. And that starts with no room matchmaking. That starts with invasions being boring. That starts with laggy servers, non-stop King of the Hill matchmaking, laggy. Even non-crossplay King of the Hill is laggy. We have the problem as tournament organizers that sometimes when we have several players in a King of the Hill lobby, that the ping spikes for whatever reasons, and no one knows why. And when there are thousands of dollars on the line, it gets super, super problematic, super, super quick. And now we are actually here in a situation for the very first time on this YouTube channel that I'm not sure if we're able to keep doing this, because what we need is we need a community. And what the community need is they need a working game, Robo. So
if NRS isn't going to support the community is not going to support NRS.
Yes. So
just hands down.
I'm curious about the people's opinion, as always, over there on YouTube. Guys, do you think that in the long run, Mortal Kombat is going to be able to sustain itself alongside fighters like Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8? Because even though I would love...
And the new League fighter that's coming out.
Yes, I mean, Project L, or I think 2XK or whatever is the new name now.
X4937.
That is right, yes.
Stuff close.
Because we just have to compare the releases. We talked about it enough, Robo. We talked about it on stream, we talked about it on Twitter. Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, both games release in a very, very decent state, I would say. Every single fighting game release has flaws or needs patches in the beginning, but the difference is just how these companies handle these flaws compared to NRS. And that is something which I honestly don't know why. I don't understand it. I know that there's like the parent company above it, Warner Brothers, which has restrictions all over the place. But the main problem this entire community is facing right now is every content creator is trying to keep the game alive, but we cannot keep a game alive when there's like so many problems with the game that the player base turn their back to it, right? And transfer to Tekken, transfer to Street Fighter, or even stop playing the game in general because they're saying it is so repetitive. We face the same issue literally every single day. We see it on YouTube, we see it everywhere. The people just say this game is boring. And I don't know if another DLC can fix that problem in the long run, Robo. We need fundamental changes.
Problem.
Yes, we need big changes. We need better room matchmaking. We need stability patches for online matchmaking. And specifically for the competitive scene, we need crossplay, King of the Hill crossplay, so we can at least grab all these last remaining competitive players, because believe it or not, yes, there are a lot of people playing MK1 in general, but the competitive scene is struggling a lot. First of all, prize pool numbers very, very low. Yes, we are in the decent position that we are able to crowdfund a decent amount of money. But when we talk about decent amount of money, you can't even compare that with money like Street Fighter or Tekken these major fighting games are able to put out. That is something which is of course on the publisher, which is not in our hands. But I'm not sure how we have to, or what NRS is going to do in the long run.
Didn't you say recently the Mortal Kombat 11 viewership?
Yes.
Higher than Mortal Kombat 1.
Yes, there's a big discussion on Steam as well, or Steam numbers, because generally speaking, you can't really see how many concurrent players are playing on PlayStation, which is of course the biggest platform for Mortal Kombat in general. But yeah, it is at least a hint of how bad the game is performing on Twitch compared to all these other fighting games. So yeah, I think Robo and I, we are just both, and we have to say it like that, very, very disappointed. I honestly couldn't believe it when I heard it. I made a few jokes a few weeks ago when I said, you know what, I'm gonna get a heart attack if crossplay is not supporting King of the Hill. In my wildest dreams, I would have never imagined that that is honestly gonna be the case in 2024. So everyone on YouTube, I know this video didn't really have a purpose, but I think, or we thought, we just have to talk about it. We are very, very curious about your opinion. Do you think MK1 is gonna survive the next year? Do you think they're gonna make the right adjustments? Or do you have an idea? What can we do to get the numbers up? I'm curious.
Ed Boon, if you're watching this, get back to us.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sad and I'm gonna cry now. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.